Hi, Liana here. Welcome to today's offering. This will be a mindful flow class with emphasis on spinal extension and back bending poses. We hope you enjoy. To begin, let's make sure you've got a couple of blocks or large books, a blanket. We're going to fold that blanket in half and then roll it up so that it's a fairly thick snake, almost the full length of your mat. We're going to place it with the seam side down towards the mat. Come over to one end, sitting on the blanket so that it supports the tailbone, and then lower your way down onto your back, making sure that the blanket supports the back of your head as well. Option here to keep the knees bent with the feet on the floor or straighten the legs, whichever is more comfortable for the lower back. Take a moment to find comfort in this position. If it is not comfortable, feel free to simply lay on your back on the mat without any props. Once you've found comfort, we'll take a few moments here to settle in and arrive on our mats, in our bodies. Taking time first just to scan through the body, becoming aware of any areas of tension or discomfort. And then taking time to notice any spaces that feel particularly open or relaxed as well. Begin to shift your awareness to your breath cycle, noticing the inhales and the exhales coming and going through the nose, taking the option to exhale out of the mouth if you're experiencing any tension or discomfort in the jaw. Begin to gently deepen the breath, creating more space with each inhale. Exhaling completely as you gently soften the navel down towards the spine. From here, we're going to move the arms out to a letter T, staying here if this is comfortable, or bending the elbows for goalpost arms, or taking the option of bringing the hands together, grasping opposite wrists or opposite forearms, finding a space that's comfortable for your shoulders, for your back, and once again settling into the breath as you allow the arms to relax towards the floor. Notice if you're holding any tension in the jaw, the shoulders, the hips. See if you can soften with each exhale, relaxing the body down onto your blanket, willing that tension to dissolve away. From here, we're going to find some gentle movement, sweeping the arms down by your sides, crossing the wrists by the waist, and then sweeping the arms back up overhead as if you were taking off a sweater. Flowing with your breath, inhaling to reach those arms overhead, exhaling to sweep the arms down by your sides, simply moving with the pace of your breath. After the next round, relaxing the arms in stillness by your sides, taking a moment to notice any sensations in the body, and then bending the knees if they're not yet bent, gently rolling off of the blanket to one side, removing the blanket from your mat, and coming back onto your back, hugging the knees in towards the chest, and finding some gentle rocking motion here. Just paying attention to any sensations along the length of your spine. All right, let's move into a little core warm-up, reaching the feet and hands up towards the ceiling. Then we'll move opposite arm and leg. Inhale, extending. Exhale, bringing the hand and foot back towards the ceiling. Flowing with your breath, inhaling to extend. Exhaling to return to center. Keeping that low belly drawn in and up towards the spine. Pressing the low back into the mat. Stay with your breath. Just one more. And then let the knees come in towards the chest, pausing for a moment. And then rolling to one side and pressing your way up to tabletop. Set up that blanket or a pillow underneath your knees if you have any knee sensitivity at all. Take a moment to set up the foundation of your tabletop, spreading the fingers wide, drawing the low belly in and up towards the spine, knees under hips. And then we'll begin with a little cat and cow, inhaling to lift the heart, dropping the belly towards the floor. Exhale, press the earth away, rounding the spine, flowing with your breath. Exhale to round. Inhale, finding that spinal extension as you lift the heart and the gaze. On the next exhale, sink the hips back towards the heels for child's pose. We're going to move the hands about a hand's length forward on the mat. Inhale, come forward, this time shifting the hips forward as you lift the heart. You can take this as deep or shallow as is comfortable for you. The exhale will round the spine as you come back to child's pose. Again, flowing with the breath. Inhale to come forward into that modified cobra. Exhale, rounding the spine all the way back to child's pose. Continuing this flow along your breath cycle. You can always take an extra breath anywhere you need to pause. After the next exhale, we'll meet in child's pose. Adjusting the legs as needed, relaxing the arms and shoulders, noticing the breath moving in the body. On the next exhale, let's walk the hands over to the right, inviting a gentle side stretch into the left side body. Inviting the breath into the left rib cage as you soften and sink the hips back towards the heels. Use the next inhale to come back to center. The following exhale will bring you over to the other side. Now inviting that breath into the right rib cage as you continue to soften the hips back and away from the hands. Use the next inhale to make your way back to center. Looking forward towards the hands, inhale your way up to tabletop. Once again, setting up that foundation, fingers spread wide. Then curl the toes under and lift the knees just 2 or 3 inches off of the mat. Hug that low belly in. Start to build some fire in the core. Stay connected to your breath. And then press into the hands. Reach the tailbone up and back for a modified downward dog with the knees nice and soft. And then we'll start to find some movement here, gently walking the dog, straightening and bending the knees alternately. Starting to get to know that downward dog today. See how it feels. See what you notice. Making your way towards stillness in your downward dog, we'll start to come into a core flow. Inhaling, round the body forward to plank pose. And exhale, use that core to press up and back to downward dog. We're going to flow here with the breath. Always the option to take those knees down in your plank. Keep flowing with the breath, using the inhale to roll forward, using the exhale to roll back. Just one more time, rolling forward to plank pose. This time we'll take the knees to the mat and soften into a child's pose, taking the knees as wide as is comfortable, bringing the palms to touch and bending the elbows so that the hands come behind the head. Relaxing the heart towards the mat as you reconnect to your breath here in this child's pose. With the next inhale, release the hands back to the mat and pull yourself forward to tabletop, curling the toes under. Press back to your downward dog, finding any gentle movement here that feels good, maybe swaying the hips from side to side or bending one knee and then the other. Walking forward, bringing the feet to meet the hands, and finding a nice relaxed forward fold here. Option to take the hands to opposite elbows for a ragdoll. Knees are as soft as they need to be to feel some of that nice traction along the spine. The crown of the head is hanging heavy towards the floor. Or maybe you take a little sway from side to side, or gently nod the head yes and no to release any tension in the neck. With the next inhale, coming up halfway, extend the spine. Exhale, fold, maybe coming a little deeper. And then inhale, press into the feet, reach the arms out and up to stand, lifting the heart. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a moment here to check in with our feet. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze to the floor, relaxing the arms by your sides. Bringing the awareness into the soles of your feet. Adjust the feet as needed until the knees and hips feel comfortably supported. And then start to notice the big toe mounds, the pinky toe mounds, in the center of each heel. Feeling that base of connection. With the next inhale, open the eyes, reach the arms out and up, and exhale, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold, bringing the hands to the mat. Step back to your plank pose, taking the knees to the floor for a supported plank. And then exhale to lower all the way to the mat. From here, we'll set up for a few rounds of baby cobra. Reaching the elbows towards the back wall, rolling the shoulders down the back. Inhale to lift the heart, reaching through the crown of the head. Exhale, release back to the mat. Again, use that inhale to lift the heart and head, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Exhale, release. One more. Hug the low belly in. Extend the spine as you inhale up to your baby cobra. And exhale, release and soften back to the mat. With the next exhale, hug the low belly in and press all the way back to your child's pose. From here, inhale to tabletop, curl the toes under, and exhale into your downward dog. Finding your steady, even breath here. Checking in with the pose, scanning through the body, making any gentle adjustments that you need. Bringing the gaze forward towards the hands, use the next inhale to walk the feet up to meet the hands, taking a breath here in your standing forward fold. With the next inhale, rise halfway, extending the spine. Exhale, fold. Ground down through the feet as you inhale to rise, reaching the arms out and up. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. And exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, lifting the heart. Exhale, find that forward fold. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhale, fold, bringing the hands to the mat. Step back to your plank pose. Again, feel free to take the knees down or lower all the way to the mat with them lifted. From here, we're going to come into a higher cobra, lifting the heart, pressing into the hands. Exhale, release to the mat. Keep pressing down through the soles of the feet. Draw the low belly in as you inhale once again to rise, pressing into the hands to lift the heart. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, rise. Use that core strength to find that openness in the front body. And exhale, release to the mat, taking a breath here to relax. And then exhale back to child's pose or downward dog, whichever serves you better in this moment. Taking time to reconnect to the breath. Relaxing in whatever pose you've chosen. With the next inhale, look forward, walk the feet to meet the hands, standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, coming up halfway. Exhale, fold. Grounding down through the feet. Inhale, rise, reach the arms out and up, lift the heart, lift the gaze. And exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, find that forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway, lengthening the spine. Exhale to fold. We'll bring the hands to the mat, step back to plank pose. You can choose any variation here or come into a classic vinyasa flow, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We'll meet in either downward dog or child's pose, whichever serves you better at this time, whichever pose gives you space to breathe and to connect to any sensations that you might be experiencing in the body. If you've chosen downward dog, use the next inhale to take the knees to the mat and settle back into a child's pose. Taking a moment here to rest, scanning through the body to notice any sensations, any thoughts. And then with the next exhale, we're going to slide that left arm underneath the right armpit. For a child's pose, thread the needle. Take any variation here that serves you. My favorite is to interlace the right fingers with the left, giving a gentle tug to create a little deeper sensation in the shoulder blades. Once you've found your variation, settle into the breath. Relax the body. With the next inhale, press into the right hand to release that left arm, pausing in child's pose for a breath. And then we'll press into that left hand, reaching the right arm underneath the left armpit, taking whatever variation on this side serves you best. And then once again, softening the body, settling into the breath, and just taking a moment here for yourself. Use the next inhale to press into the left hand, releasing that right arm back to a neutral child's pose. And then from here, we're going to make our way back to tabletop. Press your way up, and then maybe find a blanket or pillow underneath the knees if you experience any of that sensitivity, or just come right into your tabletop, finding the knees under the hips. Then we're going to grab those two blocks and place them at the front of the mat. We'll start by taking that left foot forward, setting up for a low lunge, making sure that back knee is not directly under the back hip. Front knee is roughly over the front ankle. We'll use those blocks to support the hands, energetically engaging the legs towards one another as you lift the heart. Keep that low belly drawing in and up towards the spine for support as you bring the hands to the top of the knee, reaching up through the crown of the head. And we'll take those arms up overhead, beginning a flow with the breath. Inhale to take the elbows down, facing the palms out. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms face one another. So we're getting a nice little shoulder rotation as we flow. Inhaling to lift the heart, open those shoulders. Exhale, the palms face as you reach. One more with the breath. After those arms reach up, use the next exhale to bring the hands down to your blocks, shifting the hips back to straighten out that front leg, flexing the toes back towards the face. And we'll start just a little gas pedal motion here with that left foot, pointing and flexing. And just see what you notice about that stretch along the back of that left leg. Next time those toes come back towards the face, pause here. Press into your blocks to lift the heart. We're looking to deepen that stretch along the back of that left leg. And then gently release that left knee back to meet the right. And we'll take that right leg forward, setting up for the other side. Take time to set up that nice foundation again with lots of energy in the legs. Imagine them working towards one another as you draw the low belly in. Lift the hands to the top of the knee, reaching up through the crown of the head, finding as much length in the spine as you can. And we'll reach those arms up overhead, beginning our flow. Inhale, cactus arms, palms face out as you lift the heart. Exhale, reaching the hands up as the palms face one another. Continuing this flow with your breath, try not to lose any connection with those core low belly muscles. They're protecting your low back in this flow. The arms will reach up one more time, and then we'll release the hands back to the blocks, shifting those hips back to straighten that front right leg. Toes flex back towards the face. Then we start that little gas pedaling motion, paying attention to any sensations in the body. Notice the front of the leg, the back of the leg. And the next time those toes are back towards the face, pause there. Press into the blocks, extend the spine and lift the heart. Breathing into the back of that right leg, deepening the stretch. And then with the next exhale, release that right knee back to meet the left. And we'll soften into a child's pose. Then taking a few Chakravarkasana flows here, inhaling forward to tabletop, lifting the heart for that cow-like pose, and then rounding the spine, sitting the hips back towards the heels. Gently flowing just a few times with the breath, releasing any tension in the low back and the hip flexors. Use that next exhale to curl the toes under and find downward dog. Moving through any gentle movements here that feel good. Finding any little adjustments of the pose. We'll take a twist here, completely optional, by reaching that left arm back for the right ankle. Continue reaching up through the tailbone, pressing down through the right hand. Maybe the gaze comes under that right armpit. With the next inhale, release that left hand to the mat, and we'll reach the right hand back for the left ankle, twisting in the other direction, keeping a gentle connection with that low belly, twisting you deeper, taking you further into the pose. And use the next inhale to release that hand back to the mat, and then we'll walk the feet forward to meet the hands, finding a standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, coming up halfway. Exhale to fold. Grounding down through the feet. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. And exhale those hands down to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, lifting the heart. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthening the spine. Exhale, bring the hands to the mat, stepping back for an optional vinyasa flow. Feel free to choose downward dog or child's pose instead. We'll meet in downward dog. Taking a breath here. With the next inhale, reach that right leg back and up. Bend the knee, open the hips, gaze under the right armpit. And then exhale, round the spine, drawing that knee in towards your nose. Bring the foot between the hands. Settle into your lunge foundation. And then inhale, rise to high crescent. Energetically engaging those legs towards one another. We're going to work that same flow with the arms, and we're going to add a knee dip. So inhale, cactus arms, dropping that back knee. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, dip. Inhale, reach. One more. Exhale, dip. Inhale, reach, lifting the heart. And then exhale, hands to heart center, and we're going to twist to the right over that leg. pressing the palms into one another as you draw the low belly in and breathe into your twist. Use the next inhale to come back to center. Frame that front foot with your hands. Step back to plank pose. And then press up and back to downward dog. Reconnect to your breath here. We'll use the next inhale to lift that left leg up and back, bending the knee, opening the hips. And then exhale, round the spine, draw that knee in towards the nose, planting your foot between your hands, setting up your lunge foundation, and then inhaling to high crescent. Again, we'll flow 3 times. Inhale, dropping that back knee, finding a bend in the elbows as the palms face out. Inhale, reach up as you lift the knee. Exhale, dip. Inhale, reach. One more. Exhale, dip. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, hands through heart center, finding a twist to the left. Pressing the palms into one another to create space between the collarbones. Drawing the low belly in as you breathe in your twist. Use the next inhale to come back to center. We'll frame that front foot with the hands. Step back to plank pose. And then press into your downward dog. Pausing here to reconnect with your breath. With the next inhale, walk the feet forward to meet the hands, coming into a standing forward fold. We'll take a few breaths here, finding any gentle movement that you'd like, maybe a ragdoll, maybe a gentle sway from side to side, or a slow nod yes and no with the head to release tension in the neck. With the next inhale, come up halfway, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, ground down through the feet as you reach the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take a moment here once again to check in with the soles of our feet and find our foundation for balancing. Once the feet are comfortably aligned under the knees and hips, bring your awareness into the big toe mounds, the pinky toe mounds, and the center of each heel. We'll let the eyes open as we come into our flowing, balancing Tadasana. We'll inhale, reach the arms up as the heels rise, and exhale, lower heels and arms together. Everything flowing with the breath. If you wobble, just smile about it. Take this time just to be curious and see what happens with your balance today. With the next exhale, we're going to start to take a twist into this. So as you exhale and lower, the right arm will go back and the left arm will come forward. We're trying to keep the hips facing forward and just let the upper body twist. So this twist is going to originate from the space around the navel. You'll inhale, lift the heels, bringing yourself back to center. Exhale, release into that twist, flowing with your breath. Next time you get to the top, let's hold there. Stay connected to your breath. Soften the shoulders down the back. Maybe let a little smile play on the lips. And then exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Keeping the heels down. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. And exhale, find a nice deep forward fold. Here we're going to bend the knees as much as you need to reach your big toes with your first and second finger. And then hugging the low belly in, bend the elbows out to the side to hug the heart towards the thighs. Settle into the breath here. Think about each inhale creating space in the body, and each exhale gently folds you deeper as you connect and engage with your core body muscles. With the next inhale, release, coming up halfway, extending the spine. Exhale, fold, bringing the hands to the mat. Step back to plank pose, and then option to come through a vinyasa flow or settle back into a child's pose or downward dog if you opt to skip. From downward dog, we'll take the next inhale to reach that right leg back and up. And then once again, we'll bend the knee and shift that right hip on top of the left, bringing the breath into the side body. Reach up through the knee. Exhale, round the spine, knee to nose, bringing that foot between the hands. Once again, rising into your high crescent lunge. From here, we're going to begin to transition to Warrior 3. So you've got a few options, keeping the arms overhead, hands to heart center, or to hips. And we're going to start to take all that weight into the front leg as we slowly transition without pushing off the back foot, coming all the way into your Warrior 3. Working on keeping those hips facing the floor. The low belly is nice and strong to support your balance. Reaching back through that left foot, we're going to come back the way we went in, all the way into your high crescent lunge. This time, maybe taking it a little deeper into a back bend. Pressing down through the soles of the feet to lift up through the heart. From here, transitioning into a pyramid pose, straightening that front leg as you fold forward. And then from here, step that right foot back. Option to come through a vinyasa flow or settle right back into that downward dog, reconnecting to your breath. Left leg reaches up and back. We're going to bend that knee, open the hip. Again, breathing into that side body. Really reach up through that top knee. And then exhale, round the spine, drawing knee to nose. Plant that foot between the hands. And inhale, rise to your high crescent lunge. Choose your arm variation here. You know where we're going. Then we're going to take that weight into the front leg, mindfully transitioning all the way up into that Warrior 3. Standing leg is slightly softened, pressing down through the soles of both feet, even the one that's not connected to the floor. The breath is strong. And then we'll come out the way we went in, reaching those toes back. Transitioning all the way into that high crescent lunge, maybe taking a slightly deeper back bend this time. Exhale, press into that front foot to straighten the leg, transitioning to your pyramid, folding forward, and then pressing into the floor, transitioning back into your plank pose, and then all the way to downward dog, finding any gentle movements that feel good. Or maybe you'd prefer a child's pose to rest. From wherever you are, start to make your way into a standing forward fold. Pausing for a few breaths here, maybe taking ragdoll. Knees are as bent as they need to be to create some gentle traction through the spine. The head hangs heavy towards the floor. With the next inhale, come up halfway, lengthening the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach the arms out and up to standing. And exhale those hands down to heart center. All right, from here, we're going to play with dancer pose a little bit. So we'll start on the right side. You've got a couple of options here. You can either externally rotate that shoulder so the palm faces out, or turn it in. Either way is fine. It's whatever you prefer. And then we're going to bend that right knee, grasping the foot or finding a strap for that connection. You want to keep that right knee pointing towards the floor as much as possible. And then the action of this pose comes from pressing the foot into the hand. Keep that low belly nice and strong to protect the low back. Think about lengthening the spine. Stay with your breath. And with the next exhale, we're going to release that foot, drawing the knee all the way forward into the chest, extending the leg, and exhaling that foot down to the floor. Step the feet out towards the edges of your mat and gently twist from side to side, releasing the hips. When you're ready, we're going to start to prepare for the other side. So again, choose that arm rotation, whichever way you'd like. And then we're going to reach the left hand back for the left foot. Notice the hips. See if you can keep them even with one another. And then once again, press the foot into the hand. Use that action to create the length in this pose. Stay connected to your breath. Keep reaching up through the crown of the head, finding as much length in the spine as you can. And then we'll use that next exhale to transition, releasing the foot, bringing that left knee in towards the chest, reaching out through the foot, and exhaling that foot down. Gently step the feet apart and find that little sloppy twist to release. And we're going to get a little deeper into the hips, stepping the feet just a little bit wider, slightly pigeon-toeing the toes in towards the midline of the body. And then finding a nice gentle forward fold, letting the crown of the head hang towards the floor. The knees can be soft here. We'll just take some time to tune into the breath. Option to stay where you are or walk the hands over towards one foot for a side stretch. And then inhale through center if you chose that variation. And exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center, letting the head hang once again towards the floor. With the next inhale, bring hands to hips and rise all the way to standing, heel-toeing those feet together and coming back towards the top of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms out and up as you lift the heart. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to your plank pose. Choose your flow, or maybe choose to skip it. You can always take child's pose or downward dog instead. Whether you're in downward dog or maybe you've taken a child's pose to rest, just take a moment to scan through the body, noticing any sensations. When you're ready, you'll make your way all the way down onto your belly on the floor. We're going to be working towards bow pose. So if you'd like to take that blanket and unfold it a bit so that it covers your mat, take the time to do so that you are comfortable and supported in these next back bending poses. And then once you come down to the mat, take a moment just to rest here. Notice your heartbeat. Notice the thoughts in your mind. When you're ready, reach those hands back behind you, either finding a strap or interlacing the fingers. And then on the next inhale, we're going to reach forward, lifting the heart, just like Cobra. We've got an extra engagement in the shoulders. And then maybe the toes reach back until the feet lift. Exhale, release back to the floor. Adjust the grip of the hands so that you're in the awkward grip. And one more time, inhale, lift the heart, lift the head. Find as much length in the body as you can. Breathing in this back bend. One more inhale here. And exhale, release to the mat. Relaxing the arms however is most comfortable. Maybe turning the head to one side. And just taking a moment for the breath. Okay, let's begin moving towards bow. We're going to take a few half variations first. So take that left forearm across the front of the mat, reach back for the right foot, and then press the right foot into your hand until it creates a gentle lifting of the chest, a gentle back bend. Option here to get a nice quad stretch by hugging the foot in towards the glute. When you're ready, release back to the mat. Take a breath. Then we'll set up for the other side, taking the right forearm to the mat, reaching the left hand back for the left foot, and then taking that same action, pressing the foot into the hand, creating that gentle arc in the spine. Keep the low belly engaged. And then maybe take that nice quad stretch by pressing the foot in towards the glute. When you're ready, release the foot and come down to the mat for a few breaths of relaxation. Notice the low back. If you're feeling any tension or discomfort there, please stay here and relax. Your low back is telling you that it's done with back bending for now, so please listen. If you're ready for full bow, reach both hands back for the tops of your feet, and then the same action, pressing the feet into the hands to create that back bend. Lots of leg strength here, keeping that core connection to protect the low back, and maintaining your breath. Without slingshotting the feet, slowly make your way back to the mat, turning the head to one side if it's comfortable for the neck, and taking a few moments here to settle into the breath and relax the body. If the head is turned to one side, turn it the other way so that we don't get too much tension on one side of the neck. And tune into the gentle way that your breath expands the rib cage on the inhale and softens the body down towards the floor with each exhale. Just tuning in, noticing that flow, letting it take up the full scope of your awareness. When you're ready, we'll take the palms of the hands underneath the shoulders, draw the low belly in, and press up to tabletop, where we'll work through a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhaling to lift the heart, exhaling to round the spine, just gently flowing with your breath, noticing the sensations along the spine as you move. When you're ready, we'll start to make our way down onto our backs. Once you arrive, hug the knees in towards your chest and make any gentle movements here that feel good. You can circle the knees, gently rock side to side, or simply find stillness as you take time to notice any sensations in the body. Notice any thoughts coming and going in the mind, and take time to notice your breath. When you're ready, we're going to bring the feet to the floor And then allow the knees to open out to either side, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. If there's any discomfort in the knees, you can take your blocks and place them under each knee for support. Take your time to adjust and find comfort here. And then option to allow the eyes to close. Maybe the arms come out to either sides, or they come overhead just like ragdoll arms, creating a little more expansion across the front body and through the upper back and shoulders. Whichever variation you choose should be comfortable. Take the time to relax into the breath, slowing the heartbeat, allowing everything to soften. And gently start to reach the hands down for the knees, helping them in towards one another. And then you're going to separate the feet towards the edges of your mat, allowing the knees to fall in towards one another, or gently windshield wipering the knees from side to side, whichever feels best for your hips to release from that Baddha Konasana. Next time the knees come back up towards the ceiling, pause there, adjusting the feet so that they're about aligned with the hips. Starting with the arms down by your sides, we'll begin a gentle flow here. Inhaling the arms up towards the floor above your head and exhaling them back down by your sides. Just allowing this simple movement to flow with the breath. Next time the arms come down by your sides, pause here for a moment, bringing your awareness into the soles of the feet, grounding down through the big toe mounds, pinky toe mounds, and the center of each heel. With the next inhale, we're going to press into the feet, lift the hips as the arms come back overhead. Exhale, lower just the hips. Inhale, reach through the arms. And then exhale, lower the arms down by your sides. I'm going to do that a few more times. Inhale, lift the arms and hips. Exhale, lower just the hips. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. And exhale, lower the arms back down by your sides. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms. Exhale, lower just the hips. Inhale, reach through the fingertips, finding length. And exhale, lower the arms back down by your sides. Find stillness. And then with the next exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest. Finding some circles with the knees, either together or going in opposite directions. With the next inhale, we're going to bring the feet back to the mat. Find a block. Press down through the soles of the feet, lifting the hips. Slide that block underneath the sacrum. Either stay here in your supported bridge, or lengthen out the legs, keeping the feet on the floor, or make your way into a supported shoulder stand by reaching the feet up towards the ceiling. My favorite variation here is to then take the arms overhead, creating just a little more space through the shoulders and upper back. Wherever you are, relax into the breath and just take time to enjoy this gentle inversion. We're going to begin to make our way out from wherever you are, slowly making your way back into your supported bridge, pressing into the feet to lift the hips enough to remove your block, and then slowly lowering down to the mat and hugging the knees in towards the chest. From here, we'll make our way into a reclined twist, letting the arms open out to either side, and then bringing the knees over to the left. Option to support with any props that you have in order to make this more comfortable for you. And then also feel free to take a variation where the top leg is straightened out. This will deepen that sensation along the outer right hip just a bit. Whichever variation you choose, maybe close the eyes. With each exhale, releasing tension from the body, softening the shoulders down into the floor, relaxing the jaw, relaxing and softening the space between the eyebrows, just taking time to be here. With the next exhale, slowly guide the knees back in towards the chest. And then from here, we'll make our way over to the other side. Again, finding any props or variations that serve you. And then settling back into the breath. Once again, using each exhale to release tension from the body. Let go of things that are not serving you in this moment. Just give yourself time to enjoy this gentle and relaxed reclined twist. Use the next exhale to gently guide the knees back in towards the chest. From here, take your time with any last gentle movements that serve your practice. My favorite is always a nice, happy baby with a little rock from side to side. No rush. Whenever you're ready, start to make your way towards your Shavasana, finding any props that serve your comfort. My favorite is always a bolster behind the knees and a blanket to keep warm. So take your time to settle in, making any adjustments that you need to, letting the eyes close, maybe dimming the lights, or finding an eye pillow. And then bring your awareness to all the spaces where your body is in contact with either a prop or your mat or the floor. Taking time to really notice those spaces. With each exhale, imagine yourself melting into those spaces as if you could just sink down through the floor into the warmth of the earth. Allowing yourself to be held and supported. Letting go of anything that is not serving you in this moment. And taking time to allow yourself to just be here. Begin to bring your awareness back to the flow of your breath, gently deepening the inhales and the exhales. Begin to invite gentle movement into the fingers and the toes. Circle the wrists and the ankles. Begin to gently turn the head from side to side. Beginning to wake the body up so that when you're ready, you can reach the arms overhead, getting a nice long full body stretch. And then exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest. Make your way into a fetal position on one side. And then gently and mindfully press your way up to seated, sitting on a folded blanket or bolster or block, and just finding a space of comfort. Whenever you arrive, allow the eyes to close or the gaze to soften towards the floor in front of you, allowing the hands to relax down on the knees or in the lap. We're going to take a few minutes here just to tune in with the breath, settling into the body, noticing how everything feels after your practice, noticing any sensations. Notice the thoughts coming and going in your mind. And then just give yourself a few moments to really enjoy the flow of your breath in and out through the nose, that gentle flow that's unique to you. I thank you so very much for joining me in this practice today. I hope that you enjoyed. Allow the palms to come to touch at heart center. With love and light, namaste.